Recently, I did a giant room tour and I sped through everything really fast here in 2026. So as promised, this is a slowed down mini room tour. Today specifically, we're gonna cover the movie pieces, which includes all those life-size, Star Wars, sci-fi, horror, and then just, while they're not movie pieces, we're definitely gonna cover the turts, as well as all the autographed memorabilia and other things we missed. Let's do it.
Gonna give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own.
All right, starting at the turtles, you have this license plate signed by Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. This is a replica. It is not, the signatures are real. Everything that I have signed is authenticated. This is authenticated by JSA, usually a company like PSA, DNA, JSA. So as I said in the other videos too, I'm gonna have a lot of links in the description below. You can check out the larger room tour. You can check out the original videos of each of these statues, and you can check out some videos I made about display cases. I also have a replica from Back to the Future. One of the viewers actually sent this to me, Biff's cane, pretty cool. And then we have PCS's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line. So it seems incomplete because it is. I'm waiting on more pieces that they're producing. They're making Mikey right now that I'm filming this. But you have Donatello. Now, most of these statues do have switch out options, meaning you can put on different portraits, different hand switch outs. Leo. Raphael. And again, if you want more, like, ooh, I want to know more about that Raphael, check out my original video review. We have Casey Jones. He's the newest add. I just got him about a month ago. Killing a foot soldier there. And you have Shredder. Now, the other ones I have on order from right here include Krang and Rocksteady. And I'm sure and Mikey, of course, and I'm sure they're going to make more. Another thing you'll see in my basement, I have a lot of guns. That's an AR-15 right there. Yes, it's double locked because I have teenage children. But let's move to the movie wall here, or the Star Wars wall. So we have an autographed hilt by Daisy Ridley, who played Rey. I bought this before the movie came out. I'm not a huge fan of the newer movies. I'm an old school person for sure. That's why I have a Mark Hamill signed lightsaber. That one's signed by Adam Driver, who played Kylo Ren. And then one of my favorite pieces in my collection, this has everybody's signature, which is funny. When I got this right here, we have Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels, and of course, Carrie Fisher. They were all alive when I got this. That one's authenticated by PSA. Then you have Beckett with Frank Oz and Mark Hamill. George Lucas signed that one right there. We have James Earl Jones, may he rest in peace. And then we have Harrison Ford, who signed the blaster. And I always like to put the names, so I usually have these custom made. Then I have a display of hilts. So I've done reviews on all these lightsaber hilts. You have Darth Maul, Kylo Ren, Darth Vader, Dooku. That's a custom Mandalorian helmet. And then some other random lightsabers that I got in reviews. And we move to a custom Han Solo in carbonate. It's the first thing I bought when I redid my basement about 12 years ago. I was like, I've always wanted one. This is a custom Yoda statue, obviously from the newer movies. Unbelievable realism on these. And if you're wondering price, you know, the prices on these range anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000, depending on what you're looking at. This is a fine arts bust. It's a new concept from a company called PCS that actually builds into the storyline of a bust. So a bust is typically the torso and or head. Super cool. Then I have some life-size pieces down here. First, also from PCS, same person who made that bust we just looked at, based off the 1990s Turtles cover. This is huge. You can imagine it's about 4 feet wide. And then their little mini version of them when they were young. So we have small to big. Shuffleboard for people to hang out. If they don't mind Stripe the Gremlin sitting there watching you. This is just like a plastic NECA puppet, but it looks good. Then before we look at these life-size right here, take a look at some of the autographed memorabilia. Boxing, we have my favorite Clint Eastwood directed movie, signed by Clint Eastwood and Hilary Swank. We have Sylvester Stallone sign this Rocky glove. This right here, I have another video on that is already launched. You can check that out. It's about my DC pieces. Then we have a life-size Mark 7 MCU Iron Man from Queen Studios. This was their first life-size, I believe, and my eyes are not working today, which is a bummer when you spend over $10,000. Then they have the Iron Spider from Avengers Infinity War. You can see they kind of have matching bases, or very similar bases. And then I got the Mark 85. The Mark 6 and the Mark 85 are my favorite, followed by the Mark 7. They did make a Mark 6 a few years ago, but I didn't like the pose on it, and it's a lot of money. Here is an X-Men wall, which we're going to go over in a future video, but they're all quarter-scale X-Men pieces. Then back to the rest of the movie props, we have Jaws, little corner here of Jaws. First, we have a license plate. This is a replica from the movie, signed by Richard Dreyfuss. I think it's Beckett authenticated. Then we have a 1/20th scale diorama of the death of Quint. So you have Bruce here, the shark, sucking up Quint. You have the barrels in the water, the orca here. There's even the cage. That Hooper's underwater right now, if you are a Jaws lover like me. If you're a Jaws lover like me, you're going to appreciate this next one here. This is from Elite Creature Collectibles. This is a conceptual piece based off the Universal Studios prop. You can also see behind it is an air purifier. I have lots of those throughout the basement to help minimize dust. The cases also minimize dust as well, the enclosed cases, and I have videos on them you can check out. So the rest of the movie piece, the movie collection up here is incomplete. I actually have about 6 more statues coming in, but we'll look at what we have, starting with the werewolves and vampires. So from Elite Creature Collectibles, you have Marcus and Lycan. These are in 1/3 scale. Whenever I say scale, that means a real-life version would be 3 times larger. And he's pairing off against Marcus. So the first one is from the first Underworld movie. Second is from the second. I am a Nebraska Huskers fan. Don't hold that against me. We have a 1/3 scale Werewolf of the Howling. So this is made by PCS. Again, that same company that made those giant turtles. They also made this 1/3 scale Blade statue. All of my sci-fi and horror here are 1/3 scale. I also have a Beckett authenticated Wesley Snipes autograph to pair with it. While you haven't seen many in this video, I love putting comic slabs with statues. So this Vampirella statue is based off of that slab, at least her pose. So this is made by Prime One Studio. Vampirella is from Dynamite Comics. While I haven't read it, I just thought it was a beautiful statue. And it goes with my vampire and werewolf theme. So you see a bunch of empty spots. Again, more pieces coming in. I have Ed 209 coming. I have 2 other Terminator pieces coming in. I have some other sci-fi, like more horror and Lord of the Rings. But PCS made this RoboCop statue right here. Prime One Studio made this endoskeleton. Still staying in that 1/3 scale. And then just random stuff that's just placeholders right now, really. I have a Harry Potter signed wand from Daniel Radcliffe. Little Broncos emblem. As big of a Husker fan I am, I'm 10 times Broncos. I go to all the games. And this is just one of many. This pumpkin head is kind of out of place because I'm trying to figure out a place to put it. I'm also waiting on a new version of this. This is 1/4 scale. It's made by a company called PCS. Has 2 head display options, as you can see. They just came out with a 1/3 scale that should be shipping shortly after this video. So not only will I review that like I have every single statue we've looked at today, but I'll do a comparison video. I have thousands of videos on my channel with many more coming. So if you like this stuff, make sure you not only like this video, but sub to the channel, hit the bell notification. And to kind of give you a layout here, I have home theater seating. There's a bar right over there with keg and extra TVs. But this is really the movie room, I guess I would call this. That's what we covered today. So if you want to see the rest of them, again, check out my other videos and make sure you've subscribed to the channel. But I appreciate you watching. Check out how to win one of these statues. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Yes, we're still giving away $1,000 statues at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. You have to make sure you're subbed to the channel, you like the video, and then leave a comment. We're going to pick a random comment on a random video and give away those statues. In the meantime, check out some of these other videos and my social media. Talk to you soon. Take care.